So how do you calculate your customer acquisition cost, or CAC for short?
Yeah, it's a great question and one that comes up all the time, especially I think because, um, yeah, like for me, I did this work on this company called Wayfair, and early on in their own investor presentations, they had illustratively defined CAC to be marketing spend divided by gross customers acquired, and within the academic marketing literature, that's kind of been the norm. None of us believe that that's the right way to calculate CAC. Yeah, I think the main benefit of calculating that way is you get a comparable number across firms. And yeah, I'd say the other benefit is you have a number because most companies, they don't disclose the amount that they had earmarked specifically towards like customer acquisition. Yeah.
So who would want to report a high CAC though? I mean, wouldn't you want to report that you have a lower cost, i.e. you can acquire more customers at a lower price than perhaps your competitors?
What's funny is on that dimension, you'd think they would want to disclose, like they would want to separately break out their marketing spend into the amount that they spent for new customer acquisition versus, kind of generating repeat orders, because that would allow them to report a lower CAC figure. But what it'd be saying is, the ongoing kind of profitability of the revenues should be lower, because they're having to spend all this additional marketing to generate repeat orders, which is basically saying that they should have a lower variable margin. So, how you choose to account for marketing spend can be a little bit like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Either way, that marketing spend has to be accounted for somewhere. It just doesn't go away. But yeah, typically, I'd say I can't think of any firm that's disclosed separately marketing spend for acquisition versus repeat orders. The only time that we have had that sort of data is when we've done work on behalf of private firms. So when we have that data, we'll certainly calculate CAC, by just allocating the acquisition spend. But unless we have that data, we kind of have to make do with what we've got.
So another term we hear all the time is LTV, CLTV, meaning the lifetime value of a customer. And can you tell me exactly how you calculate this? Because I hear a lot of different methods for doing this, and I really want to hear from you what the best way.
LTV, now this one is, I'm almost militant about this definition. So yes, LTV to me is the net present value of all the variable profits and variable expenses associated with the customer, full stop. So it's not NPV of revenues, it's not undiscounted revenues, it's not undiscounted gross profit. It's, let's take all that revenue, let's subtract all of the variable expenses, whether they're cost of goods sold or below the line, and ding those revenues for it, and then let's subtract off the amount that we spent to acquire the customer in the first place. That to me is lifetime value. We'll oftentimes think about kind of marketing attribution in a similar way. Like it's very easy to say, oh, I'll just compute the CLV and look at that as a function of the acquisition channel. All right, well, what's the acquisition channel? And it's easy enough if you use some sort of easy proxy like last touch attribution, but oftentimes reality is more complicated than that. So as soon as you start incorporating kind of the path towards acquisition, we'll typically say, look, we'll give you the post-acquisition value. You tell me the model that you are using for customer acquisition, and then we can give you back what the CAC is and how we can think about the profitability of these customers relative to that CAC. But that's a hard question.